Good evening. True, self-evident rights among these: life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. Pursuit of happiness, pursuit of happiness. People don't bring that one up too much. They don't bring up the rights anyway. He's like, life, liberty. It's just like, well, you gotta fight for those. It's just that the government's not supposed to take them away. And it's just like, well, what kind of right is that? But at any rate, they recognized that there was something called happiness and that it was worth pursuing. I know nowadays people are like, well, it doesn't guarantee you happiness. It's just like, fine, but it sets it up as a goal. We're supposed to be happy. You bring up happiness nowadays with a lot of people, and they'll either equate it with pleasure, or they're going to scoff at you because they're going to say, happiness, work. You're supposed to work. If you work hard enough, then you deserve to be happy. Well, who deserves to be happy? Rich people. They've clearly worked the hardest. So only rich people are deserving of happiness, really. If you're not happy, it's because you're not rich enough to be happy, and therefore you're not working hard enough to be happy. That's stupid. I grew up in a town where people could be happy. I grew up in a town where it wasn't all about the rat race. Where even if you were just a workaday guy doing some menial job, it was like you still had at the end of your workday good places to be. Good sights, good sounds, not surrounded by like fuckhole suburbia and constant traffic noise, just like endless. Do people not get the fucking endless traffic noise that's everywhere in a modern metroplex? All the fucking time. The darkness. There's no darkness. There's no fucking stars. You don't get to look up and see a night full of stars. Why the fuck not? Why is that not part of it? But yeah, what makes happiness? Quiet, occasional solitude, but also community. And what don't we have? Forget the wages for a second. What don't we have? Happiness, and a way to have happiness. We're building a world where even if you have all the money in the world, you can't be happy because the world's not a happy place. We're completely divorced from all the stuff that makes us happy. Even the happiness we can acquire is such a paltry postage stamp sized happiness. Just overcrowded and suffocating. But at any rate, the point I'm trying to even actually make is this can be a goal. This isn't something that should be scoffed at. The idea that we can be happy. Because it's not going to make us all idiots. We're not going to this is the fear-mongering side of this. It's just like, well, no, you have to work your ass off first and get used to tyranny first. And then if you're the deserving elite, you can be happy. Or you're just supposed to be happy with just like the struggle. Brilliant, great, yeah. I mean, there's a good time to struggle, but there's also not having to struggle all the time. Like that's... But yeah, so like the Dutch are good at this, or historically in the last bit of time have been good at this. There's signs that they're struggling to keep the Uber work culture at bay, but they have a more egalitarian society. They have a better sense of just being okay in the world, and like their educational structure supports this, and like there are things that we would think just like, that sounds terrible. How can they ever excel by just encouraging only at the average level instead of like pushing everyone to be at the tops? And it's just like, because that's what works. Like, it actually works. Their overall like literacy and numeracy levels are higher than ours. Their economy's fine. It's not like they don't produce business people. It's not like they don't produce inventors. They've invented some really cool stuff, actually, like Bluetooth, DVDs, CDs. That's all Dutch stuff. That was all invented by the Dutch. Like, they're doing fine. My town was much more dynamic, much more interesting, much more fun. Got put on the map culturally because it was a place where people could be happy, where they could spend time pursuing what makes them happy, and not, it wasn't this fucking rat race. It's just fucking stupid. Just fucking hate it. Rant over.